Okay, what's going on, guys? This is Liam here, and now I'm going to teach you about a concept that I've been thinking about and kind of working over in my head, and it's basically, I call it triple trouble. I know it sounds like a preteen girls band or something like that, but it's not. It's the step-by-step process of how most people get tinnitus. Now, you might be able to relate to this story or this process. You might be able to relate to some of this process. Hopefully you can see me in this light. I'm just outside right now, barefoot, as you guys should be doing whenever you can, especially after it rains. That causes the ground to have a stronger electronic current, and that way you can electronically charge your body even more with, guess what, antioxidants from the earth are the most effective and strongest antioxidants that a human can get. Doesn't fucking come from fruit, doesn't come from vegetables, doesn't come from seeds, doesn't come from medications or pills. In fact, the second strongest antioxidant comes from uric acid in meat, okay? So if you're looking for health foods, stop looking for green. Start looking for red and pink from blood and meat. Anyway, moving on. So, triple trouble. So let's break this down. I'm going to kind of walk along as I do and tell a story. And as I said, I've just been directly uploading videos to YouTube, and it seems to be working pretty well because I can talk for longer and kind of tell stories and help you guys get rid of your tinnitus. Now, this goes for tinnitus, hyperacusis, pulsatile tinnitus, and vertigo. Okay? Now, if you have either of those, you're going to get rid of them. I'd suggest clicking below, filling out the quick survey and getting some info based on how you got it and what your symptoms are. Anyway, so triple trouble. Let's imagine you got someone like a 25-year-old law student. And so you're studying law, maybe 24 will be more appropriate. 24-year-old law student, you're studying law, and exams are coming around, and you're worried about your future. And you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to do contract law? Am I going to do civil law? Do I want to be a prosecutor or a defendant? Am I going to get a job I want? What firm am I going to work with? Jobs are getting harder and harder to get. There's all these international students. Am I going to pay off my debt? Do I really want to do this anymore? It seems bad because even if I finish, then I'm going to be stuck with this huge debt. And if I don't want to do it, it's like $300,000. Oh my God, look on the internet and all these people living such good lives. Why don't I have that? You get what I'm talking about. And especially for girls who rely heavily more on social standing for a sense of well-being than do men. Read the book The Female Brain by Luann Brizendine. It's excellent. Anyway, so she gets stressed out. And so what happens when she's stressed out is literally as her cells start to die. And this is no one in particular, this is just a common story. Okay, you could be a doctor or a lawyer or even a carpenter, who gives a shit. Right, so your cells start to die, and this is all over your body. This is in your ears, this is everywhere. And unfortunately, they start to die because cortisol literally has a direct effect on the brain, okay? It, as I spoke before about stress, it freezes. It doesn't have anything to do with temperature. It's just vocabulary. It freezes the mitochondria's ability to function. Now, what does mitochondria do? It metabolizes food. So you start to get more tired, okay? So this is common in people with depression. They just want to sleep all the time because they're not digesting the food properly, okay? So what does that mean? They're not building cells. So what do these people do then? They reach for the sugar. They reach for the coffee. They reach for the fast food, okay? They don't feel good eating large meals. They feel sick, okay? So they start to lose weight. This is, you commonly see this in stress. But some people overeat, some people undereat. The sun's coming out now, that's nice. Okay, so the cells are dying and the lymphatic system isn't working anymore. It can't build up the cells, and the cells don't have enough protein. So now what happens? As I said, because they're not eating properly, they're just eating snacks and they're eating little bits throughout the day, their insulin is sky high, which is bad. C-reactive protein goes up, inflammation goes up, more cells start to die. As a cell dies, a white blood cell comes in and encapsulates it. Free radicals come off of the cell as a byproduct of this and start stripping electrons from the other cells in your ears, thus meaning that they lose power, they lose electricity. If any of this is going over your head, click below, go to my website, and just watch the live stream. I simplified the shit out of it. This is more complex stuff. Anyway, so then you stop eating protein. Now, how do you build cells? For those of you who don't know, there are two, you need to understand apoptosis and autophagy. Apoptosis is cell death, which is supposed to happen, okay? Every 7 years, your whole body is completely new, every cell, apoptosis. And autophagy is the recycling of those cells and building new cells, okay? Now, for your information, white blood cells and red blood cells come from bone marrow. So eat bone marrow. And guess what makes humans humans? The fact that we ate bone marrow, okay? Very interesting, right? Eat bone marrow, eat animals, raw bone marrow, grass-fed, the way to go. Anyway, so your cells aren't building. So what's happening? We spoke about this in my last video, so go and watch that if you haven't seen it. So you're stressed out, so you can't get energy as efficiently as you used to because your mitochondria isn't digesting the food. Your mitochondria exist, multiple of them inside each cell, metabolizing the food. Get some sun on me, eating some shit food, okay? And then what happens after that is you get so stressed out that you start to fall behind in your work. Your brain isn't functioning as well as it can. Your grades start to slip. So what do you do then? You study harder and you stay up later, okay? You get exposure to blue light. Okay, now what does blue light do? Here's something very interesting that most people don't know, and I guarantee your doctor will not know. It's gonna blow your mind. So you're just trying to sleep on a plane, right? And it's bright and there's lights on because people need to get up and move around and it's for safety, yada yada. Unless you're in first class and you can just turn the whole thing off. So I'm jealous of those people. It's very dark. Anyway, so my point being, what do you do to get to sleep? You put a visor over your eyes, right? And what does that do? It blocks out the light. But here's what's interesting, okay? The photosynthesis, okay, so the light goes into the suprachiasmatic nucleus in your eye and sets your circadian rhythm. But your body in the skin also utilizes photosynthesis, okay, to process light for energy, okay, and to power your electrons. But what does it do as well when it hits your skin? Okay, the same thing as it does when it hits your eyes. So you can set your circadian rhythm through light hitting your eyes or your skin. So you're staying up at night, you're at home, you're staying up until 1 in the morning, which is bad in the first place, so you're limiting your sleep. But you're also getting blue light that's hitting your skin. Okay, now blue light is any light except sunlight. Here's the kicker, it's gonna blow your mind. When you have the blue light that hits your skin, okay, how do I explain this really simply? So, without using too many stupid words that sound smarter than I am, because I'm not really that smart. Look at me, I'm just standing here in an oval talking about tinnitus, right? So, it breaks off melanopsin, which exists in your skin. It's a hormone in your skin. The blue light, okay, the free radical, breaks off melanopsin, okay, and it binds with vitamin A. Now, vitamin A is the only vitamin that actually emits light. If you look at it through special, not a microscope, but another machine, you can see that it emits light. So what does this do? So the free radical has caused melanopsin, which is in your skin, which is responsible for regulating your circadian rhythm. It breaks that off and it binds it with vitamin A. It steals the vitamin A out of your cells, okay, which is not good. That's a big protein building, cell building factor. And then that light emitting vitamin combination is now circulating through your entire system. And even if it's pitch black at nighttime, that light is still being emitted into your skin and your body thinks there's light outside, but actually it's coming from inside. How fucking fascinating is that, right? So that's why limiting your exposure to blue light is so vital. And if you're on a computer, I'll give you a trick now, wear a scarf to cover your thyroid gland, okay? Especially for women, twice as big in a woman. So what's the triple trouble? And then obviously your circadian rhythm gets messed up, and then what happens? You're supposed to be in autophagy when you sleep, believe it or not. Small amounts, sure, but you have to recycle those 500 million cells that die when you're awake. That's supposed to happen, by the way, apoptosis. And these are cells in your ears. And I've already spoken about how the cells in your ears need electricity because it's the most power consuming sense you have, the 5 senses, okay? Try not to bore you here with my slow talking and rambling. So, and then your sleep gets messed up, and of course, the cells that are dying from the stress don't get recycled. And then you get tinnitus, okay? You start to go deaf, or at least you have the precursor to it, and your ears start to warn you that you're going deaf, okay? Now, other things come into this too. We have PTSD from small stresses in life, which can come from worrying about handing in an exam paper late, worrying about your future, because remember, as I said in my last video, your body cannot differentiate between what you're imagining in your mind and what is actually happening. The same hormonal responses work. Why do you think some actors are so much better than others? Because they actually feel the emotions. They don't try to look like they're going through emotionally what the actor is going through, what they're trying to act. They're actually going through it. How do they do that? They recall on previous times in their life when they went through something similar. Loss of a family member, loss of a job, something happy. They actually call on it. And this is what makes a great actor act great. This is what the difference between Australian home and away actors and somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio or the guy who was in the movie There Will Be Blood. Great movie, excellent actor. Anyway, so let's go through those quickly once again and then we'll wrap this up. We've got stress, okay, which causes you to make bad choices and reach for the sugar. And then we've got lack of sleep. Sorry, we've got stress and we've got bad diet. And then the bad diet obviously causes lactic acidosis, which causes further cell death. And then you fall behind, you get stressed out and you stay awake longer. You spend more time looking at blue light computer screens. Okay, and you're not fasting, so there's no recycling going on. And then you get a circadian rhythm problem, as we spoke about vitamin A binding with melanopsin and melanocytes, which is how basically it works to be technical, and you fuck your sleep up. So why does fasting work so well for tinnitus once again? Because you can either, and you should be doing both, you can either fix your diet, fix your sleep, fix your stress, and avoid all blue lights like the plague. Because why? What's the benefit of that? You reset your circadian rhythm and you fix all the dead cells, okay? Or you can do a fast, okay? Now, obviously you want to do both because you want to avoid the things that cause you tinnitus in the first place. But you see where I'm getting at here? This is why fasting works so well, because it's cheating, okay? It's cheating your body out of what it normally does. Now, obviously, you know, if you look at the way we evolved, we would gorge ourselves and lay around in the sun all day. I personally think it's one of the best things you could do for your body is to get sunlight while eating and right after eating, because the light that you eat in powers your ATP, spins it, and forces high rates of metabolism and more effective metabolism. Remember, the ATP inside the salt water inside your mitochondria is the only functioning mechanism in the world, man-made or man-made or natural, that runs at 100% efficiency. That is impossible to achieve with engineering. It's impossible so far, unless it's like some alien technology. But you get what I'm saying there. It runs at 100% efficiency. I'm not saying all the food and nutrients get digested, but I'm saying that its efficacy is 100%, if that makes sense. So, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope this helped. That was Triple Trouble, the new teeny bopper album coming out soon, featuring Nicki Minaj and DJ Tiesto and whoever the fuck is popular these days. I have no idea. But once again, click below. I've got a little survey page with 2 questions. I want you to put in how you got tinnitus, what your worst symptom is, and your name, and I'll send you some personalized information. Okay? And then on the thank you page of that, I want you to sign up for my free webinar and stay to the end to attend the frequently asked questions section, and then you can get rid of it. Tinnitus, pulsatile tinnitus, hyperacusis, vertigo, or Meniere's disease, however you want to call it. People who preach medications and all these fancy stuff trying to fix tinnitus, they don't understand the basic, well, it's not basic at all actually, but they don't understand the science of how digestion and the body works. So you've got to go down to the cellular level. You've got to go down to the electrons. Now, am I an expert in electrons and cells? Fuck no, absolutely not. But do I understand as much as I need to know, and then some, in order to understand how these techniques works? Yes. I didn't always used to know this stuff, the science behind what I do. I used to know that sunlight, fasting, cold showers, muscle release, meditation, sleeping early, exercise, okay? I used to understand those things worked because I tested them and I saw great results, and other people saw great results too. I made sure that when I got rid of my tinnitus and hyperacusis, I wanted other people to do it to make sure I wasn't special. And I proved it right that it works. And now, over the past year or so, after going back and looking at the science of all this, okay, I understand why it works, and now I'm teaching you guys. Okay, so click below, and I'll talk to you soon, and thanks for paying attention. New album out soon, just kidding.